Hello, everybody. It's me, and I was just thinking, and I was strolling through YouTube, and I've always discussed it. Well, I always discuss this matter with a bunch of my friends and family members, and um, and I wanted to talk about it. Abortions and why I disagree with them, and I hate them so much. I hate abortion clinics. I hate the whole purpose behind it because there are innocent babies that are being killed, being murdered, and there are mothers who don't understand their options. And I've read and I looked at a lot of testimonies on people who used to have one view, and then the realization came to realize that these are real lives. And I wanted to talk about it. So this may be a very touchy subject, but this is something that we need to really speak out about, and a lot of women need to actually speak out about it. A lot of men need to speak out about it, and I just want to give my view on it. Some of you may agree, some of you may not agree, and there are some people out there who are facing a decision right now, whether or not they want to keep that baby, that child, that human life, and I just wanted to give you guys my input on it. And I'm going to be real. I mean, in the past, I didn't want to talk about certain subjects because I didn't want to, and that's my dog in the back drinking water. I didn't want to touch certain subjects because I didn't want to offend anybody, but no, I'm going to be real about it. And a lot of y'all, if you're looking at this, you need to make a video vlog, you need to post it out there, and you need to put it out there too. And after my Melody went on to be with the Lord, it made me really realize how life is just so precious and how some of us take it for granted. And this world tries to tell you, oh, if you're not ready to have a child, then abort it because you having a baby is going to be too much. But I'm here to tell you, no, God is going to take care of you and that child. Trust me. And I came across this thing. I just Googled and looked up abortions in the U.S. And I came across this. This is called number of abortions, abortion counter. So it's like a clock. And in the United States, as of today, over 2,815.6. And every time I look at this clock is climbing up. Now it's point 0.7. In the U.S. since 1973, Roe versus Wade, there has been over 56,704,508.89 now million people who have had an abortion. By Planned Parenthood since 1970, 6,584,645.9. By Planned Parenthood this year, 263,779.0 has had abortions. In the United States this year, 932,505.2 this year. Matter of fact, point 0.3, the number is still going up. God. The U.S. this year, after 16 weeks gas station, Jesus, 49,422.8. U.S. this year due to rape or incest, 9,045.3. Worldwide since 1980 is 1,311,083,503. The clock just keeps going on. It's 506. I mean, 549. It's just going and going while I'm talking here. Worldwide this year is 31,455,443. Worldwide since you loaded this page has been 1449, 1450, 1452. The number just keeps going. It's like a clock. It doesn't stop. Worldwide today, 93,993, 994, 995. It just keeps going up. So I'm going to post the link. This is the number of abortions, abortion counters. So each real-time abortion counter is based on the most current statistics for the number of abortions in the U.S. and the number of abortions worldwide. That is a lot of abortions. That is a lot of babies that are being murdered. I mean, a lot of people don't want to look at it like, oh no, they're not babies before they get this age or that or this week. No, these are innocent children. These are babies. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I'm not here to point the finger or make anyone feel bad, but I am here to really talk about this because this is something that's a lot of people that should have been born. That is a lot of generations that have been stopped. At 31 years old, I have seen babies be born and then them to grow up and have children of their own. And I'm like, wow. And we don't realize how much of an impact we have on that. And a lot of you would be like, oh, well, you know, a woman has her own right to do whatever. But when you really look at it, let's look past let's look around 1970, okay? And let's look past then when our great-grandparents, when they had a lot of children and abortion was never on the table. If an abortion now, I mean, you can basically go to any clinic and just get it done just like that. I mean, they're giving out abortions like they're giving out candy here. Like they're popping Skittles, like for real. Like this is real. And when you really look at it, if abortions was given prior to the 1970s or even in that realm, how we so displayed on the buses, how we so displayed about Planned Parenthood, a lot of us wouldn't be here today because my mother has 4 children. My father has 14 and 3 went on to be with the Lord. And so when you really look at that, and I'm using this as an example, that say that abortions were given out back then, literally a lot of us wouldn't be here today. And I'm just here to speak behalf on that unborn child. It's not fair. It's not fair. And abortions don't just happen when you just pop a pill and bam, that's it. I mean, the cruelty that they have to endure, the butchering, the brutality. I mean, have you ever looked at a child, or I don't know if any of you have any relatives or a little brother, a little sister, or nieces and nephews, or even children, and when that baby falls down and cry, you run to their aid. Well, can you imagine that this baby is in the mother's womb and just warm, and all of a sudden the cruelty that comes, I mean, that baby feels that pain. And a lot of you think that, oh, well, you know, it wasn't anything. It didn't mean it, because scientists will try to tell you, oh, they don't feel anything. Oh, it's okay at this age. Oh, that's fine. But no, I am here to tell you that they feel everything, and that God is upset with us. God is upset that we have not, even with myself, not speaking up about this situation. He's upset because we have relied on scientists, we have relied on society in the world to tell us that if we have this child, that we will not make it, that God will not provide, and God will provide. And see, God will provide whether or not you want to mother that child or not. Even if you decide to carry this baby full term and give it up for adoption, that baby will live. That baby will be fruitful. That baby will have children of their own. And I just want to talk about that because 58 million, I mean, that's a lot. You know how many doctors, the next president, the next person to invented this great invention, the next person to come up with the source of how to cure cancer or how to cure this disease, but we cut them off. I mean, we cut them off, and even if you're like, well, I never went through it, but we're funding it though. So I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk to the mothers too. I have witnessed women going into, or little girls, teenagers, women who go into abortion clinics, and they go in one way and they come out totally different. And some women who've actually experienced abortions will tell you like, they would never do it again because they realize the realization in it, how real it is. And I just wanted to talk about that. I've never had an abortion. Years ago, I knew someone who wanted to have an abortion, and they needed the money to get it done. And I funded that. And it's, oh, Jesus. And I asked, I repented of my sins, and I asked God to forgive me. But I funded that abortion. And looking at it now, these are children that should have been born. This was a generation. Generations were supposed to come from that. And because of society and me being young at that time and not knowing and nobody telling me the realization of it, I did that. And I didn't have the abortion, but I funded it. So it was like I was a part of that. It's the same way as if two people on a heist and one person murders and the other stands by and help the getaway. And I'm fully accountable of that. And I ask God for forgiveness. And I pray that the babies forgive me. And I've seen testimonies that they do forgive you. But God is upset because He created life. He meant us to multiply. He meant us to be fruitful. And society would tell you no. But I am here to tell you that God is going to provide for you and that baby. And when you look in that child's eyes, you will not regret it. Not one bit. Not one bit. So when I look at this clock, and I'm going to post a link, over 56,704,540 abortions. And this is since 1973, Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. And you have a lot of people out there, I don't know why people are so against life. I don't know why. Even some places in China where they will abort the girl or have the baby and leave that baby girl because it's not a boy. Now they're dealing with the simple fact that they have more men than women. See, and then they're dealing with the simple fact that when these men get older, they're raping little girls, or they're stealing women and, kidnapping women. Because you can't have, that's too much pedestrian, am I saying it right? Running around with no women around, because you're aborting these little girls. God has a plan for everyone's life, and every last one of us needs a chance. No matter what happened, they need a chance. I've seen some that had the incest on it, and that's sad when you have someone who got raped and it wasn't planned. But do you know, I forgot the name of the actual movie, but it was a true story of a Jewish woman who got raped by a black man. She could have aborted her pregnancy but I believe she was Catholic, so she had this little girl. And she gave that child up for adoption. That girl grew older and wanted to find her family history, but she went on to have children of her own. And if that woman would have aborted that, her existence wouldn't have been there, and neither would her children. This is bigger than what we think. So I wanted to talk about that because Um, it's real. It's not something that you can say, "Oh God, I'm going to go and have this abortion. I hope you forgive me." Because where's your heart at when you're going for that? God wants us to trust him. He wants us to know that he's going to provide. And if you're not able to be a mother to that child, then there's always adoption. Shoot, give them to me. I'll show you how to be a mama. Give them to me. Look, I'm being cocky now. I know some of y'all like next video, but no, I mean I am really I do. This is a very serious subject I wanted to talk about. Abortions are wrong, and the reason why they're wrong is because we are killing the innocent. I remember reading my Bible. I do not know the scripture by heart, but there are 6 things that the Lord hates, and the 7th is what he detests. And I know the one of them that he really hates is the shedding of innocent blood. How innocent can that be? I mean, you would think, I mean, that's just as innocent as it can be. A newborn, really? A 16-week baby in your stomach? I mean, they call it a fetus or whatever. That's a child. As soon as you are pregnant, that baby is conceived and living. That is a living soul that is revolving and growing. And I really pray and hope that people can realize, like, how many people should have been here, and how many were aborted away, and how God is like, he's so sad and so upset about it because we didn't rely on him. We didn't rely on him. So if you are a mother out there who is thinking and considering abortion, don't. You do not want that blood on your hands. You do not want that to play over and over again in your mind. God is going to provide for you. He is going to provide for you. Matter of fact, look at you. You're here. You're here. You know, I've heard people go through insane things with their parents, but they survived and they're here and they're stronger than they ever been before. And I think we need to give life a chance. We need to start talking about this. I hate abortions. I hate it. I hate it. I mean, I can walk in a grocery store and if I hear a child cry, I will look around like somebody better get that baby. Or if I see a child walking away, I'm one to look. I believe that children are precious and we have to watch over them. And to not be given a chance because we didn't feel like being put up with what we call the burden. For not trusting in God when God said he will provide. You know how many people could have came. I mean, think about it. Since 1973, I mean, how many people could have been born and have children now? You see what I'm saying? 2 generations, 3 generations, and some people like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. But it should play back over and over in your mind. It will always be on your conscience. It would always be on your conscience. And at the end of the day, when you really realize, like, this is a life. If you had an abortion before and you repented of that, God has forgiven you. That child has forgiven you. But maybe you can be a testimony to other women out there and let them know that, look, don't go down that road. Do not go down that road. I've heard people have abortions and then go on to have children and then look back and regret those abortions. And I've heard testimonies, from pastors that have had abortions and didn't know because, again, the world would tell you, if you're just trying to get rid of it, then go right ahead. I disagree highly against abortion. I do. And a lot of us need to stand up and we need to be the voice for the innocent. We do. I love children. I love children so much. Like I said, if you don't want to take care of that baby, I'll take care of him. But more importantly, God will provide, and He is going to take care of them. It's very sad. It's extremely sad. How many people could have been born? I heard a gentleman by the name of John Paul Jackson. He's a minister, but he has the gift to translate dreams like Joseph. And he made a very good point about why Social Security is the way it is. Because if you really look at all of the people that should have been born in the United States, and if people would not have aborted them, then those people would be working class and putting into the system. And that's just another thing to look at it too. Like, we're missing because we've decided to play God of who can live and who shouldn't live. Even to the point where you have teenagers or even younger than that their mind is thinking, oh, this is the only way. That is not the only way. God hates it. He is so upset. He is upset with the innocent. And I am totally against abortions. And you may not agree with me, but I hope you hear me. Or you may agree with me, and you may have had an experience, and I really hope that you talk about it, because it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. And people could be like, well, this is my body, and I can do this, and I can do that. It's wrong. It is so wrong. It is so wrong. And if nobody can speak for this innocent baby, could you imagine that baby just chilling in this mama's womb like everything is gravy, like I'm just laying here in the comfort of my mother's womb. And then next thing you know, it's being butchered. What you think, it's not going to feel it? What you think, it ain't crying? Maybe don't have the vocals like we do, but it's crying. What you think is just going to, okay, you want to kill me, I'm gone. You know, and just like that, I don't know if there was a doctor in California, but what he was doing was he was taking scissors and he was snipping off their spines. I will fight. I will fight a doctor. You gonna snip off baby spines? Really? And that baby, like, not even knowing, I mean, feeling pain. I don't know. I'm just going to put it out there. And I don't care if you didn't like it, if you do like it, if you disagree, or if it made you feel some type of way. It's the truth. People don't like to hear the truth. That's why we in what we in right now. And that's why we dealing with some of the stuff in this world today and with society today, because nobody speaks up. I may not have this type of degree or whatever, but I do know one thing. I know my left from my right. I know when it's hot not to touch it. I know what fire look like. And I know that God is real, and He does not like abortions. He does not, and I hate them. I hate them. I hate abortions. I hate abortions. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. And I just pray and I hope that a lot of you ladies will start speaking up about it. I see a lot of women on YouTube that's trying to conceive. You know, I see a lot of women now that's trying to conceive. And women even before they actually had abortions, but now that they're trying to get pregnant, it's hard for them to get pregnant. And I was surfing the web, and my little girl, she passed when she went on to be with the Lord. She was 20 weeks. Okay, I seen something up to 24 weeks abortions. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's real. And I'm just being real. And y'all may like it, y'all may not like it. I don't care. I do not care. I said this time around in my life, if I'm not talking about God, if I'm not doing in his will, then I don't care what y'all feel. I don't care. And y'all have to understand, like, I'm coming from where it used to always be about the limelight to me. I used to always want to be on the stage, performing, doing shows, this, that, and the third. But I am ready, and I know that I need to speak out about it. And I hope that a lot of you will step up and speak out about these innocent children that are dying because of people who just don't feel like it. They do not feel like it. They do not feel like it. And if you're going to post a comment that said, well, what about incest? What about incest? If the baby's still alive, then guess what? Give the baby a chance. You don't want to take care of, put the baby up for adoption. Well, what about other stuff? I feel like this. If the mother is not in a situation where she is dying, then there's no reason for us to intervene or say, okay, we'll kill the baby. My money, my tax dollars should not be put up for somebody to go out here to have an abortion. You may not agree with it, but trust me and believe me, it's bigger than what we think. 56 million. That's a lot of people. And double that. Double that. It's over 112 million people that could have been here. But genocide. Genocide. I really pray. I really pray in the name of Jesus that you don't get an abortion. I pray that if you went through one and you realize something and God shows you something, that you talk about it. I am not going to sit here and, people may say, who are you to say this? Oh, you don't know that. But I'm going to be real with you. Think about it. Look how technology and how everything has evolved. 50 years ago, if they had abortions the way they had it right here, a lot of our mothers would have probably made a mistake and said, you know what, I'm done. I may not have been here. You may not have been here. You may not have been here. You may not have been here. Why? Because it was in your face. It was called go and fix it. See, back then, when you got pregnant, you took care of that baby. Family stood up. See, that was back then. And then a lot of people, look down at that, oh, these families are getting so big and this, that, and the third. Then you wonder why your families are so small now. I'm preaching to the choir. I don't know. All I'm saying is this, is that maybe somebody looking at this video, it may touch one person to say, I'm not going to have an abortion. Because guess what? God is going to provide for you. He is going to provide for your children. Whether you be 10 years old, 14 years old, whether you be 20, 25, 40, it doesn't matter what age. And yes, I did include the young age because incest, you know what that means. You know what that means. God is going to provide. He already did, and he's already doing it. He's been doing it for years. Will we think we're the only humans that ever came on this earth before us? And speak out about it. And if this offended you in any way, I don't apologize. I don't. If it offended you in any way, then I hope that you accepted Christ in your life and repent and know like I know that your child is living. Because all children belong to him. I heard a testimony of a man who had a heavenly experience, and he said he saw a lot of children, different nationalities, but it was not a lot of parents. All children belong to the Lord. All children belong to God. And this is just something that's on my mind, but this is something that I always wanted to talk about. I've talked about it with my friends, with my close relatives. I've talked about it to people who politically do not believe that abortions is the way, that are definitely against abortions. Have you ever seen what an abortion is? Look it up, and they'll show you what they do and what they do with the bodies when they're finished with them. But going back at the clock here, since I loaded this page, over 3,375,000 people have had abortions so far. Worldwide, 1.3,011,805,510. Since Roe versus Wade, 704,581. That's 56. Over 56 million people, y'all. I'm against Planned Parenthood. Because what is that? Planned Parenthood? What are you planning here? I mean, I can understand if you're helping people with prenatal pills, or if you're helping people with certain things they need, because there's a lot of women out here don't have insurance or whatever like that. I can understand that. But how is that Planned Parenthood when what you're doing is you're slaughtering babies? And I just put it out there. So this is just something, I'm keeping it real. This is real talk. So if you're not feeling what I'm saying, I don't care. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I don't care. I do not care. See, when it comes, there's two things that I don't like, people can't mess with. It's God. Don't mess with my God. And number two, children. Don't mess with children. I can't stand it. I don't like abuse of children. Don't mess with the babies. Just do not mess with the babies. I love children. I really do. I love all my nieces and nephews. I got teenager nieces now, and they just think they know the world. But I love them. I changed every last one of their diapers. I babysat, and I watched over them like I was their mother. And if anyone was to come up or whatever, I was ready to rap. I was ready to go to jail. And but I'm just keeping it real. We need to really talk about that. We really need to talk about that. So I am praying for all of the mothers out there who are trying to conceive. And I'm praying for all of the mothers out there to carry a full 40-week term healthy baby with a heartbeat. I'm praying for women out there who's having a child, and those who've lost a child, those who went through a miscarriage. And I'm praying for mothers out there who are trying to make a decision whether or not they want to abort their pregnancies or not. I'm not even going to say pregnancies, but abort those babies or not. And I'm praying in the name of Jesus that God will touch you to know that He will provide. He will provide for you, and He will provide for that child. My last position, it was a girl, and she had a grown lady, 20, maybe 20, 25, 26. She had a little boy, and her coworker was just gossiping, like, she pregnant again, and she's saying she's not going to keep the baby. And I said, oh, I hope she keeps the baby. I really do. I said, babies are blessings. Anybody come out on babies are blessings. See, other people be like, ooh, what's she going to do with another kid? Oh my goodness, how are you going to finish your education? All of that don't matter, and all of that will be done. But know this, is that God is going to provide. He is going to provide. You have to trust Him. Stop looking at everybody else. They ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw out, but they trying to tell you how you can live your life, or, oh, if you have this baby, this is not going to happen. Or when you look on TV and they want to put these fake stars out here like, oh, they waited till whenever. No, we are, you, first of all, you are independently. You were born by yourself, and you're going to leave this world by yourself. God has provided for you day one at birth when you were born. There are a lot of people out here that would give testimonies about how they were surviving. They were survivors of a butch pregnancy, but they survived. And I am so passionate about this. I am so passionate about this that we need to speak up. We need to speak up. I hope I'm not the only one, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on YouTube and on the internet that give testimonies and telling these mothers, look, everything will be okay. God is going to provide for you. Don't make that decision. Don't do what I've seen others do. Don't even be a part of that, because it's going to impact you and it's going to hit you in such a way. Regret and grief and loss and what could have been and what should have been. But God gives us the decision to make, to do what is right. He gives us the decision to do what is right. You know, you can't look at somebody and say they're a murderer because they went out and did this. I got news for you. You're a murderer too. If you didn't come into the realization of what you did, you are a murderer. Killing innocent children, killing innocent babies that have no voice of their own to say, please let me live. All I'm doing is just, I'm here. You may not like it. I don't care. You may think, oh, this video has no whatever. I don't care. I'm just talking to the ones that just need to hear this, that God is going to provide for you. He will take you places that you never thought you even been. He will open doors for you that no person can close. He's going to provide. The only thing we need to do is just have faith in that. We need to have faith in that. So that just came on my mind today. So this is my thoughts of why I hate abortions. I hate it because we've cut off a generation. I hate it because these are babies who cannot talk up and say, please don't kill me. I know me as a person, I wouldn't want nobody to kill me. I mean, grown as I am, I don't want nobody to kill me. Grown as you are, or how old you are, you wouldn't want nobody to kill you, right? So why do you think you're so important that that baby isn't important? Well, maybe it's something they're going through. I don't care what you're going through. Life is what you're going to be going through. Nobody said that anything in life was supposed to be just gumdrops and roses. We need to speak about this. And this is for the men too, because you ain't the only one. You know, this woman didn't create this baby by herself. And half of the time, a lot of women go through abortions because he said he don't want it. You know, so we need to really start speaking up. These are, and the thing about it is too, the word says too, that when you have children, when you get old, your children will take care of you. They will take care of you. So I gotta speak about that. I'm tired of talking in circles and, hey, you guys, and oh my goodness. No, I'm speaking up, and I really hope somebody got the message from this that abortions are wrong. These babies, from the minute they are conceived, are a soul. These are real lives that we are dealing with here, and there are millions and millions of children that should have been born. They should have had children of their own, but took that away, was deprived from it, because we've made a decision, and we need to stand up and really talk about it, that we don't need abortions here, okay? We need to really just ban the whole thing, okay? Everybody should have a right to live. Everybody should have a right to live. Nobody should be given a right to say, oh, well, I'm just gonna abort this because I just don't feel like it. I feel like it's too soon. Man, a lot of us wouldn't even be here today, and that's the most scariest part about it, and I can't stress it. If they had abortions the way they posted on the internet or on a bus or on TV or on the radio, or just, you know, if they had abortions the way they had it years ago, a lot of us will be cut off. Because if my father was aborted by my grandmother, I wouldn't be here. If my father was aborted by my grandmother, my sister and her 2 boys wouldn't be here. If my father was aborted by his grandmother, my sister, her child, and her grandchild wouldn't be here. So, I mean, it's bigger than what we think. So, this is just what I'm saying. A lot of you are not going to like it, but I don't care because I'm just as real as they come. So, on that note, pass the word around. If somebody's in doubt, let them look at this video because I'm here to tell you, honey, God is going to provide for you and your children. He is going to provide. And the minute you see that baby, you're going to be like, wow. Some mothers, and you know what? I have to tip my hat off to mothers who did not abort their children, but they gave their children up for adoptions. Because my husband is adopted, and he could have been aborted. It could have been aborted. It could have went the other way around. But you have mothers out here that look at it like, you know what? I'm going to go full term with this. And if I'm not going to be the mother, then I know someone else will step up and be that mother. Because like I said, I'll show you how to be a mama. I love the babies. But anyway, I'll speak to y'all soon. Ta-ta for now. And again, I hate abortions. I love children. I love God. And I know, just pray about it, and God is going to show you what He can do, and no matter what situation you are in, He will show you what He can do. There are some of the most greatest people who came from a little of nothing. Look how society has. I mean, we went through Great Depression in the United States. We went through slavery. I mean, we went through wars. I mean, we went through a hard time, but families have always stuck together and always survived, and God always makes a way. He is possible. And what He puts, nobody can touch. And we have to make the right decisions. So I'm just really hoping that whoever looks at this, it will open their eyes to see women out there who have had abortions and they regret it, and they look back on it. Tell your story. Tell your story, because it will make a decision for someone else whether they want to do this or not do this. Society tries to tell us that we can't do it. But through God, all things are possible. What's society? You're going to tell me, oh, if you don't feel like it, then go right ahead and, go ahead and make this this is the biggest decision that you will ever make in your life. And it really hurts me to see that. It really hurts me. And I sometimes hear people talk about it, and they talk about it so nonchalant, like, yeah, girl, I went and got this, and I'm like, for real? And you just acting like that was cool. So this is a long video. Oh my gosh, I'm looking here, it's like 42 minutes. So let me know what y'all think.